Hello, 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 this is Adolph, and these are games that I wish were Nintendo 3DS 3D Classics. So, let's give a quick rundown what 3D Classics were in 3DS. They were games that Nintendo released and or other companies that had 3D in them that originally did not have 3D in them. So, Nintendo did this with a bunch of old NES games, and some of them were kind of remakes, some of them were just, digitally enhanced to be 3D, and this game sucks. Some of them are just kind of meh. But that's kind of a rundown what it was. Now, Sega actually did something really amazing with this. They actually had a collection and had a whole bunch of games that were great in 3D, and many of them were good 3D games. I'm not gonna lie, Ultra Beast sucks, but Sonic looked beautiful in 3D and great, and some of these were just kind of cool games, and they're definitely really enhanced by playing them in 3D. So, yeah, Sega really showed up Nintendo, and I really feel like Nintendo should have come back and tried to do their own collection. So these are games I wish Nintendo would have done, but obviously never did. So first of all, Virtual Boy Collection. Let's give a collection here, because I don't want just one game, I want a bunch of them. I would love all of them, but obviously Nintendo doesn't own the rights to all the games, and some of them might be really tricky to get those rights, because the companies may not exist anymore. But having just a collection of all these games, hey, I'll pay $40 for this. Collection of 8 games. Sure, yeah. And some of these games are pretty good. So it's sad these games are gone to time. Never going to play them again. Alright, first real game, Super Mario RPG. I love Mario RPG, and how this game plays, the camera view, would be great in 3D. I really think it really helps with jumps, and it plays awkwardly with the control pad, but I think playing it with a stick and playing it with 3D would be really cool. So Mario RPG would be fantastic for 3D, and look great on a little 3DS screen. Next up, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. So Castlevania Symphony of the Night was the first, Metroidvania. First third-party one, or the first big one that people really think about. And having this in multiple layers, it would be beautiful. I love the other 3DS or DS and Game Boy Advance games, but something special about the first one. So having this would be great. And then, of course, Mega Man X. Hey, Mega Man X is another beautiful 2D game. 2D art like this, I don't need any changes, really. You can keep all the games the same, and they look great and play great. And here's another great one. This is a Zelda Minish Cap for Game Boy Advance. And when you shrink down, some of these areas look great in 3D. Having that overview and just having the perspective here, I think would be great. And Minish Cap is a really wonderful game, and people now appreciate it, but back when it came out, people didn't care for it. But it really holds up, and having more buttons to use would be better. And another favorite game of mine is Resident Evil 4, GameCube game. Resident Evil. They actually had 2 Resident Evil games on 3DS. There was like the Mercenaries, and then the Revelations. So they definitely could have this, and the perspective would be great for 3DS. Here's a GameCube game, Rogue Squadron, Rogue Leader. This was a really fantastic Star Wars game, and it looked beautiful on GameCube. It was a launch game, and it hasn't come out since that I know of. And this space always looks great in 3D, and having this on 3DS would be gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And I imagine a lot of people would love to have this in 3D in your pocket. Hell yeah. This would be fantastic. Next up, Wave Race, Blue Storm, the GameCube version. Racers are great in 3D, and having a 3D racer like Blue Storm, and having the waves be at different levels of 3D, and having that depth to actually see where you're going would be really nice. And I really think Wave Race is an underappreciated franchise, and not enough games in that franchise for me. I would love a new Switch Wave Race, or a new game altogether, but hey, I take this. Next up is Yoshi's Island. Super Mario Yoshi's Island originally came out on Super Nintendo. This is a great, fantastic game. They already re-released this on Game Boy Advance, but having the original and having that be in 3D will be gorgeous. Multiple layers of 3D here, the art design, it would just be beautiful in 3D. Next up is classic Donkey Kong Country. Again, 2D layers, beautiful. Donkey Kong Country is a great game, and these games are really cool, and it definitely would look beautiful in 3D. Absolutely. I don't feel like they really need to change much in this game, or any of the games actually I listed today in this video. So Duck Country would be very pretty in 3D. Many levels would be just beautiful and have multiple layers and just really get you into the camera or the game and having the camera's perspective. Yeah, I think it'd be great. Next up, this game might be too good for 3D, but it might melt your eyeballs or something. But F-Zero GX is incredible on the GameCube. And this game was 60 frames per second, beautiful on GameCube. Having this in 3D with the depth would be amazing, and it could melt your eyes, but it would be incredible to play this in a handheld, and this F-Zero GX is awesome. Now, next up is Metroid Prime. This is a GameCube game that has been recently re-released in HD on the Switch, and it's a great game. Having this in 3D would be beautiful. Just having the different layers in first person, the control would be great, especially on the new 3DS, and just having, just the rich environments to see in 3D, beautiful. Just, oh my god, I love this game in 3D on 3DS, but never got it. Next up, another Metroid game, the favorite, Super Metroid. Again, 2D games on 3DS would be beautiful, and we got Metroid on 3DS, but Super Metroid, just having it be the same game. You don't have to change anything. Next up is Super Mario DS. 64 DS, sorry. This one is a remake of the original, and it didn't have the original analog controls, so you could put that back in and have this be in 3D. I think it would be really great to play this in 3D. And this is a game that I wish had better controls on DS. And having this on 3DS with 3D would be awesome. Having those mini games too, why the hell not? So yeah, I really think 3DS had a lot of potential, and these are games that I wish were 3D classics. What games do you wish were 3D classics on 3DS? Please comment below. Thank you for watching. Bye.